Yeah. Today I took a very big step. I took 100% of my money. I am giving it to a planner in Toronto.
Oh, you had mentioned that. Yeah. You're
And
taking.
today I pulled the pin. Today I signed all the account agreements and the transfer forms, and it's done. I think I've demonstrated over 40 years of how well I handle my own money. And you talk about regrets and should have done this, wish I had done that, if only I had said this, if only that, I would be in a vastly different situation. And what's fascinating is, had I not been in exactly the situation I am in, I would not have met you.
There you go.
Because that's my path.
Yeah.
That is my wake. And that wake disappears and dissipates and eventually is completely gone. And so today I took a very big step. I am transferring 100% of my money to somebody else to do with it what they think they should, instead of me doing what I think I should. I realized the enormity of that for the first time in my life because I've never done it. And I said to my coworker today, I said, I don't know why it's so stressful, because it's exactly what we ask of clients every day.
Yeah.
Give us all your money and let us look after it. And it was a great big wow.
Yeah.
Like, what an aha. But I didn't think of that idea. It just came through the flow of my life. When I walked out of the Staples after dropping off everything for the transfers, it was a done deal. I mean, I could phone TD and I could phone Manulife and say reject the transfers, but like, it ain't going to happen.
Yeah.
And then I get paranoid because I think, well, what if he's not doing the right thing? As if I've demonstrated what the right thing was.
Yeah.
At some point, you just got to let go in life.
Yeah, it's true.
Biblically, do you know the story of the talents?
Of the talons?
Talents.
Oh, talents. No, I don't think so.
It's wonderful. The parable of the talents, also the parable of the minas, is one of the parables of Jesus. It appears in two of the synoptic canonical gospels of the New Testament. As they were listening to this, he went on to tell a parable because he was near Jerusalem, and because they supposed that the kingdom of God was to appear immediately. So he said, a nobleman travels to a distant country to get royal power for himself and then return. He summoned 10 of his slaves and gave them 10 pounds and said to them, do business with this until I come back. But the citizens of the country hated him and sent a delegation after him, saying, we do not want this man to rule over us. When he returned, having received his royal power, he ordered the slaves to whom he had given the money to be summoned, so that they might find out what they had gained by trading. The first came forward and said, Lord, your pound has made 10 more pounds. He said to him, well done, good slave. Because you are trustworthy in a very small thing, take charge of 10 cities. Then the second came, said, Lord, your pound has made 5 pounds. And he said, and you, sir, shall rule over 5 cities. Then he goes to the final servant, and he says, Lord, here is your pound. I wrapped it up in a piece of cloth. He said to him, I will not judge you by your words, you wicked slave. You knew that I was a harsh man, taking what I did not deposit and reaping what I did not sow. And then you did not put my money in the bank. Then when I returned, I could have collected interest. Take the pound from him and give it to the other who have the 10 pounds. And they said to him, Lord, he has 10 pounds. I tell you all, to those who have more will be given. But to those who have nothing, even what they may have will be taken away. So today I chose to entrust my talents to somebody that I have faith and trust in and concerns about, but boy, it sure doesn't happen when I've done it on my own. So we're going to be great, or I'm living in your basement.
Well, I think we could fit you in somewhere here.
Well, like they say, everybody's your friend until you don't have next month's rent.
Yeah, that's right. Speaking of rental, what did you you were talking about moving into another apartment?
Yeah, that all went sideways. So
Oh, okay.
we just ended up staying here. So, and I told you about my landlord.
Uh, I don't know. Don't think so.
Wow. Okay. So here's like I think it's a 76-year-old periodontist. Should be afloat in money, and in fact, 7 years ago, $2.87 million in the Lotto 649 on a split pot. So $3 million. Boy, talk about falling on hard times, Brian. Holy shit, man. And I've actually phoned him 3 times. And he can't believe I phone him because, like, nobody phones him. Like, this man just can't have any friends.
Wow.
I'll start it by saying, he phones me on January the 1st and says, "Where's my rent checks?" And I said, "Pardon? Where's my rent checks?" I said, "Well, Doug, I put them in a Christmas card to you and Christina, your wife, the owner of the condo, and slipped it under your office door on December the 23rd, and never heard a word back from him.
Oh,
So then this condo comes up for lease, and this thing with the people down the hall start, and I'm going back and forth, and pricing out units in other areas and all this stuff, and we just decide to stay, but hopefully they'll drop the rent a bit. So I send an email to him, and she comes back and she says, "What did you have in mind? We're paying $1,850, and this other couple were going to give us theirs for $1,400. You know, like 1,400 versus 1,850. I mean, do the math, right?
yeah,
It's $6,000 a year after tax."
sure.
I get back to her, and then I call him. He's in the psych ward at the Glen Rose Hospital
Oh, wow.
and has been for like the entire year since, I guess, the COVID thing hit. So he loses his practice. He owes 2 years. They lose their home. I phone her to say, "You know what? Now that I know the story, like, we're paying a premium." And she starts to cry, and she says, "I know." She says, "But it's the only income that we have right now. And when Doug gets out of the hospital, I don't know if he's going to have to go into a care facility or come home. And we've lost the house, and I don't know where I'm going to stay. I'm couch surfing."
Oh, my
And I
God.
go and drop off the checks to her, and there's freaking boxes all over the front lawn and the driveway. And she's got to be out in 2 days.
Oh,
Talk about turning over the coin and really starting to look at the other side. My heart, my response, my sympathy, my empathy goes on to him because I've been there.
yeah.
You know, it's so interesting how this life works when we can just kind of get away from our stories and just listen and just feel and sense and not be reactive based upon everything that we learned since we kind of popped into the world. For me, it's just a fascinating exercise. It's the path that I truly, truly want to walk. Just deconstruct, start to let go, let go, let go, let go, let go of everything that I feel that I have to handle, so that I can just continue to walk the path that I want to walk,
Mhm.
which is, something peaceful and serene, and would have a degree of nature to it. Could be a $50 million property. It could be a Spartan barn on a rural property. I don't know. I've just got this phenomenal fucking draw to that.